Now, a couple of minutes to 9, let's talk about George Clooney, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. He's settling down here. He recently married human rights lawyer Amal Alameddin and has apparently swapped the glitz and glamour of LA for traditional pub lunches and bike rides in the British countryside.
Louise has been talking to him about his lifestyle changes and his new film, Tomorrowland.
George Clooney, so lovely to see you on Breakfast.
It's good to see you.
I'm glad that you have the sort of requisite coffee on your hand.
I needed one.
That's what we survive on BBC Breakfast.
I bet. What time do you have to get up really early when you do that?
I get up at 3:40.
Oh.
But you were probably awake like that today. Anyway.
That's when I'm coming in.
With every second that ticks by,
The future is running out.
Newton?
That's not mine.
What's not yours?
The pen. I've never...
Tell us a little bit about the movie, because it's kind of a curious mixture, I would say, of lots of different things. How would you describe it?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. We've been doing press for it for the last, I don't know, 10 days or so, and every time you try to describe it, it sort of morphs into something else. And I liked the idea, how hopeful it was, the idea that the future is up to you and you can actually define it and change it and all of those things. And I thought it was a very brave thing to want to do in a summer kind of action film.
Something that you agree with, because my kind of daily diet and is pretty much bad news, isn't it?
Sure.
What we're watching. So, is that your view, that you are optimistic?
Well, I've always been optimistic. I grew up in a family, and my father was a newsman, and so we had a daily diet of bad news. And when I was a young kid, news was equally as bad as it is now. We had riots and civil unrest, and I always was raised to sort of put those in perspective and think in terms of, well, the overarching thing is that the world is probably moving in a better direction.
Do you think that's kind of a difficult message to sell in some ways? Because it is, some people might be overwhelmed by it and think, I can't make a difference. But the key of the movie is that every one of us can make a difference.
Well, I think we've learned over generations of seeing how we actually have made a difference, individuals, that we do know that that's true. It's, the trouble with what we see and hear is that we're inundated with the bad. As you well know, the good is not as easily told and not as easily digested. And so perspective gets lost sometimes. And sometimes you need to pull back and go, well, actually, that's a very tiny incident in a very large world. And I find best to look at a bigger picture often.
Tell us a little bit about your what you've done with South Sudan, and big changes have happened there.
Sure. Well, we have great successes and we have great failures, kind of on a constant basis. The initial version of young people, evangelicals, all the people who got together to really sort of put Darfur and the word Darfur on the map and make it harder for the atrocities to happen was a great success in 2006, in that period of time. Another great one was when they were able to vote to create their own country in South Sudan. It was an amazing moment to vote for your own independence. Unbelievable.
So great successes.
Sure, and then horrible failures as well. The government's failing, as they almost always do when they first start, and watching and hoping for the best. And I'm still very much involved on a pretty much daily basis there. So it's a very important part of my life.
And you still remain optimistic about that as well, then, do you?
Sure,
Even with the success in the
Well,
films?
we'll never win. I'll be long dead and the problems will still be existing. But that doesn't mean that you can't participate, and it doesn't mean that you have to find the good ones and go, well, that's something. And this is, had they not voted for independence, there would have been a war. And we know what happens when there's an all-out war.
When you think about tomorrow, when you dream about tomorrow, what does it look like?
I don't know. You mean literally tomorrow? Because it looks like I'm in Spain tomorrow.
Does it? But that's nice.
That's actually...
And in a wider version of that?
Oh, you mean further out than like a bigger...
maybe next week?
China, how's
and
that?
after that?
Japan. I just keep going. No, you know, I don't know. I'm very hopeful about all of it. I'm gonna, I think, very much enjoy spending time here. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to sort of being settled down. Right now, we're sort of in flux. We're trying to, you know, get things sort of settled so we're in the home and have things to do. So I'm really looking forward to it.
How is life in the UK? Because you're spending more time here. Are you enjoying that?
We're renovating a house, so we're not staying in it right now because there's no windows on it. But I think we'll be in probably around August or September.
And do you like living in the UK?
Yeah, it's fun. It's really nice. It's nice to be out, not in London proper. It's nice because London's a little trickier getting around, you know, as you know. And,
Yeah.
you know, we ride our bikes and you get to like have a normal life. It's fun.
Do you go to the pub?
Yeah, there's a pub, really great pub called the Bull there that we go, you know, walk through a graveyard and go over and have a drink.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really fun.
What do you have in the pub? Do you have pints or what is it?
Pints. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
Of course you do.
You think I just walk in and order a vodka? I have a pint of...
And how's married life for you? You seem very happy.
I am happy. We're having a fun time. It's you know, it's nice it's fun and exciting to watch the things that Amal has to work on.
Because she does some extraordinary work, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
So she's a human rights lawyer, so she is one of the people who makes a difference.
She does make a difference, and she does take on, you know, cases that are not easily won and are worth the fight, and I think that that's such a valiant thing to do.
Who cooks?
If there's any cooking, it's me, trust me. And I'm not the greatest chef, but it's a family trait.
Lovely, absolute pleasure to meet you and talk to you on breakfast.
You too.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry you have to get up at 3:45 every morning.
Well, you can give me a wave next time.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much.
George Clooney there.
I wonder what his speciality dish is, his signature dishes.
Toasted sandwiches. No, probably something Italian, I'm guessing. A kind of Italian thing.
Yeah, I can imagine. Maybe a good lasagna. George's latest film, Tomorrowland, A World Beyond, is out this Friday.